The band, everybody. Can we give them some love? Good morning, everyone. What a joy it is to be here with all of you on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Welcome to all of you who are live streaming with us. We are so glad that you have joined us this morning, or whenever you're watching the live stream. So I am Reverend Deanne Morency. I'm the Associate Minister here, and it is my joy to serve this magnificent community. We here at Unity San Francisco believe and know that the very truth of who we are is divinity itself, that the very truth of who we are is love itself, and that our calling, our purpose, our beingness is here to love and to be loved. Always more, never less. And we love to have a good time doing that too. So welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining us this morning. We here at Unity love to start our services by getting settled, by getting quiet, whatever it took for you to get here on this day, whatever it is that maybe it was easy getting out of the house this morning, and maybe it required just a little bit more effort than you're used to. We're grateful. I'm going to invite the prayer chaplains to rise, activating the prayer field. They're activating this prayer field not just here and in this room, but we're activating the prayer field for each and every person who is watching this, whenever you are watching this, because we know that the prayer field is activated and it transcends time and it transcends space. So I'm going to invite our very own Misa Malone to open with this beautiful, beautiful chant. I invite you to just let go of whatever's in your lap, whatever you're carrying on your heart, whatever's on your mind, and allow yourself to truly be here now.
I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. I I am light. I am light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star shining peace over it all. I am light. 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 You are light. You are light. We are light. We are light.
And so we breathe into this space where we know the truth of the light that we are. We breathe into this space of the truth of the light that is everywhere present, regardless of appearances, regardless of what breaks our hearts open. For we are not limited by the color of our skin, by the color of our eyes, by our age, by our religion. There is only one activity unfolding, one life that is expressing, and it is in the joy of that small child's voice. This is what is seeking to reveal itself always more and never less, always more. And when we say yes as the divine itself, we are the vehicle, we are the expression through which more love, more grace, more beauty, more creativity flourishes and overflows. We are how we change this world so that it works for everyone. How good that is to know right now. We are light. And when we say yes, a way is made, a powerful way of light and love and grace. How good that is, truly, to just surrender, allow, be present to that truth. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Ashe. Good morning, everyone. Come on in, grab a seat. If you're just tuning in with the live stream, welcome. So here at Unity San Francisco, we have a very powerful mission statement that was created by the community, because here at Unity San Francisco, the Unity San Francisco is the community, right? We are it, the thing itself. And so our mission statement, which given all the world events that are unfolding right now, I think is so powerful. And we know here in Unity Teachings that when we anchor our mission, our intention, our truth, what it is that we are saying yes to, that we are inviting that to actually take hold as our life right now. So I'm going to invite us all to say this mission statement together. We pray, celebrate, serve, and connect to inspire and transform ourselves and the world. Yeah. We start here and we show up right here. And that's how we change and transform this world. So service is a major component of what we know and believe here at Unity San Francisco. So we are having our annual Sacred Service team training, and we're also going to be including some emergency preparedness in that training process as well. So if you serve on a Sacred Service team now, or if you are interested in serving on a Sacred Service team in the future, please save this date, Saturday, November 17th, from 10 to 2. We're going to serve lunch. And so you'll be able to work directly with the teams that you're in service with, and then you will also all get to come together and work with the person who's coming in to help us with the emergency preparedness, and we'll just have fun, right? We'll get to eat together, we'll get to connect, not on a Sunday service, right? So please RSVP so that we know that you're going to be able to make it. So that is Saturday, November 17th from 10 to 2. So yesterday, for those who were here, we had our fabulous annual fundraiser, our Harvest Jamboree. Who here was able to come? Woohoo! Did we have a great time? Yeah. So there are so many people to thank, but I particularly want to thank the people in the community who donated of their own in order for the auction items to happen. We've got Anne, who donated her home in Ireland. Right, we have Carol Dollahan, who donated her timeshare in Cabo. I got that one. Chris and I are going to have fun in Cabo. Our Susan Ives donated her timeshare for Modernism Week in Palm Springs. Right, so we had so many gifts that people brought to the table. Alan and Dave are going to be cooking a fabulous Jewish festival meal for folks. So thank you to all who served. Thank you to all who bid on them and made it such a success. We're just truly so grateful. Nelson Berry put together a fabulous Beach Blanket Babylon. He worked with Misa, Beach Blanket Babylon and dinner event. We really had wonderful auction items. But if you weren't here for that, never fear. Because if you walked through the lobby, you might have noticed that we have our holiday raffle going on. And that's going to be going on through till the holiday season. We've got 13 packages, 13 really lovely, amazing things. You all in your program, thank you. You all in your program received a flyer that lists them all. If you're watching online, you can go to our website, and our holiday raffle by tomorrow will be listed on our homepage. And you can check out everything there. You can also purchase raffle tickets, even if you're not physically here, by doing it online. And so the holiday raffle, the raffle tickets are $10. They are 6 for $50. You get to pick, there's little jars out there for each one of these packages. You get to pitch which packages you're interested in throwing your name in. And then we're going to have 3 separate drawings in December, December 2nd, December 9th, and December 16th. So I do want to say Carol had a friend who came. She bought 1 raffle ticket for $10, and she won the 2 tickets to Miss Saigon. So it can all, it can just be 1 ticket. That's all you need, right, is 1 ticket. So buy your raffle tickets. We're set up in the lobby to get you the raffle tickets and to get you all set up. You'll see Tyler for that. Yay! So on the inside of your program, and if you are live streaming, that's okay. If you're live streaming, there's a button underneath. If you're watching on our website, there's a button underneath that says connection card. If you could tear that off right now in your program, there's a flap that is a separate connection card, and please fill out the front of it. If you're here in the room, you're filling out the front of it. If you're watching online, you can just fill out the information that we ask you for. It's a way for us to stay connected to you. It's a way for us to know if you're a first-time guest, if you've been here before. It's a way to update your address if you've had any address changes, email changes. On the back, you'll notice that there is the spiritual practices. We're going to step into that later on in the service. So for right now, if you could just fill out the front of the connection card, that would be amazing. And if you are a first-time guest, as you came in, you hopefully were greeted and you received your first-time guest gift. If that did not happen, please see Tyler, in the tall, handsome gentleman in the back, and he will be happy to get you your first-time first-time guest gift. There we go. Oh, so now I'd like to invite you to rise as you're willing and able. I'm going to invite our own Misa Malone to come back up and join us as we step into our community song, Use Me.
Happy Sunday. Invite you all to greet each other with a handshake or a hug. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back into the room. I just saw JD. Why don't you come in for a second and we'll talk about it. So next Sunday here, I can feel the excitement in the room already. Let's build on that for next week. We're having an amazing service about the spiritual lessons of Moana. So if you were here about a year and a half ago, we did it. But also we're going to redo it. And we have some new singers, and Misa's putting together an incredible music program for us. Our band's here. And JD is going to be doing an interactive lesson with the children. So bring your kids back next week for the spiritual lessons of Moana. It should be a fun time. If you've never seen the movie, I would have maybe never seen it had I not had a toddler or two in the house at the time. And it was amazing because it tells the hero's journey, but from the point of view of this Polynesian girl. And it is groundbreaking in that the man who wrote Hamilton wrote the music. So it'll be really fun. And anything else I'm forgetting?
If adults have already heard your version of Moana, can they come hear mine downstairs?
Yes. You'll need the help. All right. So next Sunday at 10:30. Thanks. And this is Joshua, for those who haven't met him yet. All right. So, and now I invite Marty up to read us our daily word.
Hello. It's now time for the daily word, a time to let these words of truth become part of our morning reflections, your morning meditation or prayer. The daily word is an affirmation of the divine truth that is always, always present. It's an opportunity to anchor our awareness, to know that everything, and I mean everything, is in divine order. I invite you to take a deep breath and pause in the silence, and close your eyes if you wish. I invite you to let these words become your words. Today's daily word is leadership. Our affirmation for today is, I bless the world by shining my inner light. I develop my leadership by radiating my inner light and letting it ripple out into the world. This is my first step in leading a change. As I take action, it's imbued with a quiet presence and power and conveys real strength. When Jesus told the crowds that not to hide their inner radiance, but to hold it high, he provided the formula for addressing all, and I mean all of our concerns. I connect with my light by becoming still and closing my eyes. I visualize my radiance flowing out through my whole body and into the world. As I let my light shine, my leadership flows from the inside out. I know what actions to take. I can truly make a difference towards harmony, towards peace, and towards love in the world. Today's affirmation is, I bless the world by shining my inner light. Please know this affirmation with me. I bless the world by shining my inner light. And so it is.
I one of them. Step on through and change my life. Sometimes I pause here on the threshold, afraid to leave my bright familiar home. Sometimes I spend my days running by so quickly, I don't see the doors at all. Step on through, reluctant pilgrim. My fear is all I've got to lose. Life is nothing, nothing but a dreamscape, and the dream is mine to choose. I am waking in a forest glade. Needles of pine are in my hair. I see pathways through the underbrush leading to I don't know where. I hear strange noises in the thickets, and I know some trails may not lead where they seem. Pain may await me, but I know if I stay here, I'll sleep right through my dream. Find a trail, reluctant pilgrim. My fear is all I've got to lose. Life is nothing, nothing but a dreamscape, and the dream is mine to choose. Let us sail, reluctant pilgrims. Our fear is all we've got to lose. Life is nothing, nothing but a dreamscape, and the dream is ours to choose. Ours to choose.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, band. I had never heard that song till Jessica sent it to me this week. Good, and more people are coming on in. Come on in, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to everyone who's live streaming with us again today, too. I'm so delighted that you've chosen to be with us. And it has changed how we are, right? The live stream has changed how we choose to present. Yes, Makari loves applauding already. But it doesn't change who we are at core. Who we are is easily, though, sometimes tossed about. And I love this song because it says, fear is all we have to lose, and the dream is ours to choose. Right? Dream is ours to choose. I don't know about you, but I feel like I have never been in this before. Right? Yes, there's been troubles in the world. There have been heartache in the world. There's been tons of suffering in the world. But the language spoken in the mass media, in our political dialogue, for me, seems untenable. It's like a place I've never been before. And I talked specifically about it last week, about us and about claiming our moral leadership, right? To taking back the word moral. That because we are spiritual beings, we have a moral center based on our spiritual principles. And then I'm not afraid to use the word moral, because it's important that we are anchored to those kind of principles. The morals we got from our upbringing, from our families, from our faith, from the schooling we had, from the scriptures we all listened to and read and studied, wherever you came from to find yourself in this place. Those moral principles are the bedrock on which we can stand. And as Jesus put it to Peter, you are the rock on which I build my house. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't waver, that we don't stumble, because Peter was no example of complete steadfastness. Let's just put it that way. Steadfastness. Like all of us, he fell down. But the principle that we come back to is our moral teachings. And in this moment in our country, in the world, I think we have an incredible opportunity to step up and fill the void with what we want it filled with, right? We called this our year of manifestation, 2018. Our year of manifestation, what we were going to bring in the world. And 2 weeks ago, I talked to you about that. What is it that you really want to manifest? And what is it that you want to bring into the world? I asked some of you to send me those, and you've been sending what's been creating in your life this year. And it's amazing what's going on here. But these last weeks of pain, of suffering, of hate, spilled across our country have made me realize that what I really want to manifest more than anything is a world that works for everyone. Right? And to manifest the leadership that can espouse my values. To manifest leadership means to be it, to be the leaders that the world so desperately needs right now. I ran across this quote. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Okay? Leadership is the capacity to have some obscure vision and turn it into a manifest reality in the world. So we have been holding a vision here in this community for a couple of years now. And our vision statement is, we are a vibrant spiritual community, honoring the divine presence in all and radiating the unity message through loving service. So let's break this apart. We are a vibrant spiritual community. Yes, we are. No matter the size, we are a vibrant spiritual community. We have so much going on here, and we are reaching across the world now to spread this message. I'm going to go back. Honoring the divine presence in all. That sounds lovely, doesn't it? It's really a pretty phrase. I honor the divine in me salutes the divine in you. Namaste. Do that in front of the political person you vilify. Do that in the face of abject hatred and vitriol. Do that to your family who disagrees with your politics. As I can attest to, it ain't easy. It just ain't easy. But I keep trying to do it. I keep trying to honor the divine presence, realizing that that person who I disagree with is not intrinsically evil. They're just making a choice I'm not making. And until I can have a conversation with them, I am not going to heal the world. I'm not going to heal the world. And I'm about healing the world. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of playing small. Right? I want the world to work for everyone. I am tired of looking at the paper, and as I wrote to you all this week, to have to mourn a seven-year-old girl in Yemen because she couldn't afford to go the 15 miles to the hospital. And I'm not saying that I can solve the problem, but I'm saying we can. I'm saying we can. And I talked about moral in this way. Moral is connected to the principles of right and wrong behavior and the goodness or badness of human character, right? But I also said it this way: holding or manifesting higher principles for proper conduct. So we have been really good at holding principles for higher conduct. But have we been good at manifesting them? Have we been good at being leaders of it? Leaders of great character, of moral fiber, of moral fortitude. When I was studying to be a prayer chaplain, they taught us about helping others with a story that I don't know if we still teach it to the prayer chaplains, but we're teaching it today. And it really helped me immensely to understand. It's like, they taught it in this analogy. You know, if you're walking along the road and you come across a hole, a ditch, and there's someone in the bottom of the ditch crying for help, you don't jump down into the ditch with them, right? Because then there's two of you down there. You may be still holding moral high principles, but you're both now trapped in the hole. What you do is you find a way to help them out, but you don't go down to where they are, right? And it's tempting for a lot of us to go meet fire with fire, to return the hate for more hate, to return the lack with more lack. They're withholding from me, so I'm going to withhold from them. I will not give them love, they don't deserve it, right? And in our politics and in our secular life, we think somehow that that's okay. But here's the thing about spiritual principles. They're not just meant for when you're here at church on Sunday. They're not just meant for this spiritual community. They're meant to be practiced in every aspect of your life. And as one of my first ministers, Reverend Carlos Wayne Anderson, used to tell us almost every Sunday, you get no points for being nice to people here today. It's easy. It's easy to be nice to the people here at Unity on Sunday. Go out on the subways of New York and be nice to the people, right? Go out to the streets here and be nice to the people, right? Get on BART and the last train and be nice to the people, right? That's where the spiritual rubber meets the road and we get to be the leaders. So what I long for, yes, I'll take that applause, right? What I long for is where we meet hostility with love. That we are the leaders. Because leaders can come from everyone. It does not matter title. You can be a leader in every aspect of your life. And often the most powerful and pervasive leadership comes from the ground up. Comes from the source. So when we can step into a knowing and an understanding that I am the one making the choice. And when someone says something that belittles someone else, I will not belittle them back, but I will stand up for my spiritual principle. It will stand up for the divinity of each and every individual. I will stand up for what's right. Because as I shared with you last week also, this is entirely and even more true today than it was when Dr. King said it. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. We are not going to win by joining in the mud fight. We are not going to win by jumping in the pit with those who want to pit us against each other, pun intended, but to make us wary of each other and say us and them, and those people are out to hurt you and harm you, and they don't share our values. Well, those people those people is a construct meant to make us feel weak and scared. There is no us and them. There is only one power and one presence active and working in the universe and in our lives. God. Right? There is only one power and one presence active and working in the universe and in our lives. God. When we stop giving all the authority to people that don't hold up the highest principles and take it back for ourselves in a loving way, we become the leaders the world needs. So think about it right now. What small act of love and kindness could you do in your life? Could you do that would lift the entire planet? What small act of standing up for principle could you take on your social media, in an email, in an interaction? When I watched Oprah, the biggest minister in the United States, talk this week, she told a story, an excellent and eloquent story. How many people saw her tell that story about the man voting? So she told a story, so I'm going to tell it for you. For those of you who didn't say it, she told a story, I can't remember his name, but her first minister was named Otis, Reverend Otis something. Can't remember, but he told the story of his father. His father, on a Tuesday morning for election day, got on his suit, his tie, his dress shoes, and he walked 6 miles to the polling place that he was told to go to. 6 miles. When he got to that polling place, he was told that you are at the wrong place. You're supposed to be at such and such polling place on the other side of town. So he said, okay, and he walked another 6 miles to the next polling place, where he was told, oh, no, this is not your polling place. Your polling place is at the Reading School down on the other side. So once again, he said thank you. And in his suit and his dress shoes, he walked another 6 miles, bone-tired, to the next polling place, where he was finally told, yes, this is the right place, but you're too late. Voting has ended. So when she votes, she says she votes for Otis Sr., who never made it to the next election day, but he made himself go. So because he didn't get to cast his vote, she casts it for him. And leadership is making choices like voting and taking the hard steps, because it does matter. It does. It is a right that is not granted to everyone. All the women here in the room, probably your grandmothers or your great-grandmothers didn't have the right to vote, right? You're sitting here with a privilege and a right that you may choose or choose not to exercise, but I'm telling you, the choice not to exercise it has consequences in your own personal leadership, your own personal example. I'm trying to demonstrate that to our teenage son. Well, no longer a teenager. He's 20 now. Right? But to understand that your voice matters, especially to the youth. Right? It's like I say to him, if you don't vote, all us old geezers get to choose. Right? And if the youth decide not to vote, or if any of us decide not to vote, the choice is left to someone else. And I really challenge anyone to tell me that the last election for president, which was decided by 80,000 votes in 3 states, we would have had a completely different result, didn't have consequences. So regardless of whether we're in a state that counts, regardless of whether you think your vote doesn't have an influence, it does. Because by making the steps necessary to exercise your right, you are stepping into your moral authority and your spiritual leadership. You are making choices, and I would encourage you to make choices for leaders, political leaders, that reflect your spiritual values, that reflect kindness, that reflect love, that reflect the wholeness of the planet, and that reflects that there are no borders when you look at the earth from space. There are no states, there are no countries, there is only earth. And what do we teach here? There is only one power and one presence active in the universe and in our lives. God. God. So in Republicans, in Democrats, in each other, in the Saudis, in the Yemenis, in people in conflict all over the world, in our Jewish brothers and sisters, in the white supremacists who feel so much fear and anger and hatred at what's happened to them. We can feel compassion to the people who have suffered long times for justice and righteousness to bend towards them. We can feel compassion for our own soul's longing. We can feed it. We can step up and be the leaders that the world needs. Leadership has many components. It is not about who's elected. It's not about who has the job. Leadership is about communication, listening. Right? Leadership is about passion. And leadership is about principles. Leadership is about integrity. Integrity. Imagine integrity. To do what you say, to be honest about what you're saying and why you're saying it, to not have to dog whistle or dog bullhorn or to call anyone out, period. Let's not talk about our opponents. Let's talk about our values. Let's not talk down to people that don't disagree with us, but talk about why we value what we do. I value a world that works for all, because I know that that is the spiritual rock that my life is anchored in. The unity teachings that saved and transformed my life are not bound to race, to age, to gender, to nationality, to any of those principles, things. They're not principles. They're the color of our skin. They're the things on the outside, as Misa sang in that beautiful opening chant. I am not the mistakes I made in the past. Who? I am not. And if I can hold that for me, because I've done some awful stuff. I'm not here because I was a saint my whole life. I'm here because I wasn't. And I learned by the pain of my own sins. Understanding what we mean by sin here is missing the mark. And then I was not punished by some God up in heaven for my sins, but punished by my sins. In the life I was leading was filled with pain and separation and anxiety. Today, I want to step into the authority, and I want all of us to step into the authority to be the leaders of our principles with integrity and honest communication, with purpose and passion, and with humility. They're both possible in the same moment. They are. To be passionate, full of integrity, and humble. Knowing that we will make mistakes. Knowing that there is another truth from another perspective that we can be open to. And I know many of you are about that. But what I'm doing today is continuing my call for us in this election season to shift what is. Because what is is no longer acceptable. Right? Is it? Is what is no longer acceptable to you? No. So how do we change that? Where do we change that? Here. Right here. That you are the ones that we have been waiting for. I am the one that I have been waiting for. As we each stand up with integrity and purpose and passion, that we can be the leaders who shift the world to a place of love first, of compassion for our fellow beings, and with the principles of abundance, that the more we give, the more we receive, right? That is one of our fundamental teachings, right? As you give, so you will receive. So this may sound political, and there was an irony. We tried to post this on Facebook last week when I talked about as you give, you receive, and that we should have open borders. We should talk, not totally open borders, but organized borders, and we should welcome people for the diversity and the richness they will bring to our country. And Facebook wouldn't allow us to post it because it was political. And I had to laugh. We were having a conversation in the office, and I said, fine, we will deal with this next week. But I actually live in this country, and I have a right to speak my mind. There's always a pendulum swinging, and I refuse to get mad at Facebook either, because they're just trying to figure it out like all of us, right? But this will not be silenced. This will not be shut down. The more we give, the more we receive. So as we let ourselves give to people in need, if we help others, we receive tenfold. That's true for me personally. It's true for this as a community. We practice tithing in everything we do. And it's true for our country and our world. As we give, we receive. As we give, we get more. So if we apply those principles into our political life too, we can see wholeness. We can see health. And I know that we will get back tenfold. These are not easy things I ask us to do. They are monumental, but they're important. They're important that each and every one of us step into our leadership. So I invite you to disagree with me. I invite you to lovingly come talk to me about it. I invite you to question everything. Because what I am inviting is you to step into your wholeness. What I'm inviting is to you to step into your moral authority. Because all of us together change the equation. All of us together bring our spiritual knowing to the world who needs it. Let's take that to our time of meditation. Let's take that understanding to within us so that we can shine this light all over the world.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only when I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear spirits gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
From this place of singing this, feel the love that you are. Where is it? Is it all of you? Is it bubbling forth from within you? Does your love have a light, a color, an energy? See that. Feel it. Know it. That essence deep within you, that is love. And see that love now. Taken out from under its bushel. Taken out from under its protective covering. And see that light shining brightly. That love extending evermore forward. Endlessly reaching the corners of the earth. And in the midst of the pain and the suffering and the hostility that the world is, your light is bringing clarity. Your love is making a path through the anger and the ruins of someone else's words and touching the hearts of others in profound and meaningful ways. Your light, your loving light, is the balm that heals, that transforms, that saves. That saves. That consciousness that knows I am whole. I am light. I am love. Shines from within you, out in the silence. I lead by example. My love leads the way. Your love clears the path. Your light makes the difference.
In this moment, in this place,
can we sing this together?
I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. Open my
Amen.
It's powerful, yes? There's something about not allowing ourselves to feel disempowered by the events that are going on around us, by what we experience day to day in our lives. For some of us, it's a daily experience running up against the inability for us to be seen as the truth of who we are. And when we come together as a community and we choose differently, we truly do make a difference. That's what I know. That's what I believe, and that's what I invite each of us to anchor right now as we enter into our time of spiritual practices. This is the opportunity, as we say, where the spiritual rubber meets the road. What is it within you that you are called to show up as in a different way? Because that's the truth here, folks. We are all called to show up in a different way. Everything, everyone, that's what transformation means. It all gets turned over. So what are you going to turn over this week? You have some options that are written. If you look on the back of your spiritual connection card, if you're watching online, there is a button that you can click on for your spiritual practices that you can commit to for the week. We have some options here for you: lead by example and humility, work for justice and equality, champion mercy, that's my particular favorite right now, and choose love. And how, taking my class, you know that it's all about how do we activate it in our life. What is yours that you're choosing to be, to do, and how are you going to actually activate it? So what happens if you set an intention for your entire week that you're going to choose love? How is that going to transform your day-to-day experience and in the process transform you? There's also a place here for you to put your prayer requests, any comments, whatever you would like to sort of let Reverend Ken or myself know. Feel free to write that in if you're watching on the live stream. If you are watching from our website, there's also a prayer request button which you can click and you can fill it out, and we will get your prayer requests. They'll be held in the prayer field by the prayer chaplains and by Reverend Ken and myself. So please take a moment right now to fill out your spiritual connection card, the spiritual practices. It's time for our giving and receiving. This is a very powerful practice that we do here at Unity San Francisco. You all have envelopes in the front of your chairs. If you're watching online, there's a button so that you can actually tithe or donate from the website. If you are an auto tither, meaning that you're on a regular tithing plan, which we love, it really helps us be able to plan our budget, and you as well. You'll notice there's auto tithe things in the chairs in front of you. You can drop those into the basket as they go around. In the cards, in the envelopes, there's a place for you to write your name if you're giving cash so that we credit you appropriately for tax purposes. And then there's also a place for any credit cards if you want to do that, or you can put your checks in this way. And I am going to invite no, it's me. It's all me. I get to keep going. So this process, as Ken was speaking to in his talk, about giving is receiving. Truly, we believe that here, that giving is receiving. And that when we show up as that, when we show up in the giving of our time, our talents, and our treasure, our time, our talents, and our treasure, not just one piece of that, but all of that, all of it being activated within us, that is when we actually keep stepping out onto our leading edge of giving, which means that we are also then stepping out into our leading edge of receiving. And that flow, that practice transforms lives. It has transformed my life, truly transformed my life. The practice of tithing of my time, I was always willing to give my time, if I'm perfectly honest. Always willing to give my time. Of my talents, whoo, you know me, I'm an extrovert. I love sharing my talents, right? And when I first came into this teaching, I struggled with what it meant to tithe of my treasure, of my actual finances. What did that actually mean? Because my finances were so erratic, they were so shaky, and guess why? Because I didn't trust that as I would give, I would receive. I would hold on to everything. I would keep it so close to my heart, to myself. And in that process, I was shutting down my own ability to receive even more. And I started off with baby steps. I started tithing, giving, and I started to notice that as I tithed, things started to appear in my life. For me, I was calmer. I didn't panic as much because it's an act of faith to tithe. It's an act of faith to say, I am giving because I know I will receive. And as we step out in that, it's amazing what my life is now. And it is the practice of tithing that has transformed my prosperity and my abundance. So we teach this here because, yes, absolutely, as a community, if we're not tithing, guess what? This community doesn't exist. We are the community. And individually, each one of you has something powerful to learn as you step into the practice of tithing. So it works individually and it works collectively. So we have an affirmation that we say as we do our offering. So I invite you to hold your offering, hold your envelope, hold your auto tithe, hold your connection card. If you are live streaming with us, just open your heart and anchor this knowing with us. I will say it once. I'll invite you to say it with me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies. Really hear that. Blesses and multiplies all that I joyously give and receive. It's the free giving of it that is such an integral component of it. Let's say that together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I joyously give and receive. And so it is.
Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray reaching toward the day. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. We may not reach the ending, but we can start slowly but truly mending, brick by brick and heart by heart. Now, maybe now.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Jessica. And now I'm going to invite the kids to come up. You can even bring the sleeping joy.
This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna shine so bright. All around the world, I'm gonna shine so bright. All around the world, I'm gonna shine so bright. Shining bright, shining bright, shining bright.
Woo! Take it, Andrea.
Hi guys. Today in the Youth and Children program we did a lot. We did some yoga, we did the beginnings of meditation, and we talked about being a leader in the world, like showing your smile and guiding the world into happiness. So we read this book, and then she made a little mascot, a friend, a happy friend, to remind her to smile and be a guiding light.
Yay.
Being a leader on the smile.
Good job, Roma. Good job. We also have another child that we want to welcome into our community, because Michael Jean Christopher Scott Dunham, yay, who was born last Monday. And so have we heard yet? Is he? I'll let Grandma talk about him.
So Micah is Milan's baby. So Milan, as you know, typically runs the children's program. And it has been a rocky road. She wasn't here last Sunday because her water broke. Micah was born 27 hours later. Ouch. Mom and baby were actually released from the hospital Friday, but then baby was readmitted Saturday. And he's in the hospital for jaundice right now, getting treated. So if we could just hold them both in consciousness and in light, and just send healing energy and positive thoughts and all that good stuff, so, my babies can come home.
So yes, so as we know with Joshua and with all the babies of the world, right? Your baby coming home, my baby coming home, and then all of them, the NICUs around the world, the hospitals, the refugee camps around the world are filled with these little ones who need our love, our light, our focus. So we have a blessing that we say to these children and to all of those children. You are God's perfect child. We love you exactly the way you are. Right? So let's hold that in a global understanding. You are God's perfect child. We love you exactly the way you are. And so it is. So thank you. Guys can stay. We're going to sing. Thanks to everybody who made today's service possible. It just literally takes a village to make this all happen. Thank you for being here. Please pray with the prayer chaplain after Sunday. They'll be in our party section over there with all the party goods from yesterday. But the prayer chaplains will be there to hold you and to help you hold the light. So this week we have this we have this Great Work of Your Life, Deanne's class on Thursday. Next Sunday, the Spiritual Lessons of Moana. And this coming Wednesday, the Om Hour. So 7 o'clock here, Reverend Deanne is facilitating a ritual practice of Om meditation. So from this, we will all stand as you're willing and able, or stay standing as you're willing and able, and do our closing song, True Colors.
In a world full of people, you can lose sight of it all. The darkness inside you makes you feel so small. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
I'll say these statements once and I invite you to affirm them after me. I lead by example and humility.
I lead by example and humility.
I work for justice and equality.
I work for justice and equality.
I champion mercy.
I champion mercy.
I choose love.
I choose love. And I see my true